Hey, this is a quick and dirty lighting demo. It's actually for my dad, but figured I'll just make it public. Maybe someone else will benefit, or better yet, have some suggestions for all of us on how to make this better. So my dad wants to record some singer-songwriter videos in a small little studio, kind of a DIY project, publish on YouTube. So vocals, guitar, and I turned him on to a few low-cost lighting options on Amazon, specifically the newer lights that are RGB and bicolor. I actually don't own any of those yet, but I own the previous models that do tungsten and daylight, 3200 to 5600 dimmable, and those are my go-to light now for interviews. Originally I bought them for airline travel because they're so affordable and the photometrics on them were stunning, and they've proven to be such a valuable compact battery powered light that I use them even locally now instead of my more expensive stuff. I've actually sold most of my high-end brand name lighting, KinoFlow, K56 Jokers, Ari, Mole Richardson. I had a 3-ton lighting truck and that's all gone. I've replaced it predominantly with just consumer level LED instruments for kind of the daily projects that I do. All right, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. So, okay, this is to replicate what my dad has. I believe he ordered 2 RGB LED panels to create red, and then I've got another light source of tungsten 3200, which is kind of a point source. You can see the hard shadow on my chest, and I'm doing that intentionally to emulate stage lighting, and I've got the hat on intentionally. You know, it's kind of like a wardrobe thing, right? So as you can see, I've adjusted the height of the white balanced light source. I've got the camera set to 3200 white balance, my key light's 3200, and I've got backlight on my shoulders, some downlight to separate me from the background, and then I've got some additional red as a side light, kind of like a kicker, same hue as what's on the wall in the back. And now that I look at this, that's a glass door behind me, glass and anodized aluminum, and the aluminum bar at about my ear level, I can see that's clipping a little bit. That's a little too sourcey. So I would dim that down in this case. But obviously if you're on a solid color wall, that's going to create a nice little gradient. And all right, so now I'll clean this lens. All right, so here's the reverse side of the setup in the garage. Obviously using a camera that's in full manual, you're gonna wanna do the same with whatever, you know, if you're using an iPad, run a camera app that allows you to shoot in video mode and lock the gain and the aperture so your exposure's set where you want it to be. And then I've got again, I was intentionally using a little point source. This is a little like $30 LED light from Amazon, and I've got that at 3200 and it's up at 75% on the level right now. I'm just eyeballing all of this. This is really quick. I spent about 10 minutes setting all of this up. And then on the floor behind me is my uplight in red. Obviously you wouldn't be using a light panel Gemini because there's far more affordable options and you already own them. And then I've got a second Gemini as a kicker light, which is opposing the angle of my key source. So you can see there the keys coming in from the right, kicker lights on the left, and the kind of the general rule of thumb is you just want those to be opposite of each other. I would actually like that kicker to be a little bit more from behind. I thought it was wrapping a little bit too much on my nose, but in the context of my garage here and working on the stand, I'm right on the edge of frame right now. So the solution would be on a bigger shoot, I would rig that from overhead or create a menace arm, which is a stand with an offset pipe. And you know, certainly with a smaller instrument, you can tape it to the ceiling or the wall. And then the ever critical shoulder glow, again, just to separate me from the background so it's got some depth and dimension. I've just got a larger LED panel. That's actually dimmed to minimum. That's another newer panel. Those things are about, I think they're down to like $120 now. And I've got that set to the daylight mode, so 5600 Kelvin, because I wanted a little blue on my shoulders to create the separation, and also that's on the opposite side of the color wheel from the red. And red is so similar to skin tone, so edge lighting in red, it because it's so, again, so close to my skin color, it doesn't really create separation from the background. But you can see like the tips of my fingers with that blue light, I'm getting a nice crisp edge. And then one thought on composition would be to think about profiling a little bit to camera. You know, spin your chair. The way I'm lit right now, the key light's favorable to angle this way, although right-handed guitar, I don't know, may actually be friendlier this way. I don't know, I have to play with that. Actually, no, I think I like it this way, because if you're this way, you get the neck of the guitar is like overpowering your face. So I think this might be a better way to go. And yeah, and then of course play with other colors. You'll see a lot of stage lighting that utilizes it on the backgrounds, and backlight will be blue. And that's specifically because it's opposite of skin tone, where red, again, is close to. So I'm gonna play with these lights, and let's just try an all blue look. See here. Hue. See here. Wow, it's bright. That's kind of a deep blue. Okay, 239. Come over to our floor light. Do the same thing. 239. 260, 250, 240, 239. Wow, blue's a lot punchier. So that's actually blooming a bit too much. So now I am going to dim down. That's kind of interesting, actually. I know MOS sensors on cameras are inherently more sensitive to blue light. It's just part of the engineering and science behind how the sensors are fabricated. Looking at the monitor, wow. Ooh, I actually like it down there, 5.4%. And we'll do something similar on our kicker light. Let's try like, yeah, let's try 18. All right, so there's a blue look. And, you know, I don't know, maybe now we could do, maybe we make the wall red, but keep the kicker blue, and the backlight is daylight. And again, my key light is set to tungsten, which is what the camera is also white balanced to. All right, so let's go back to, I think this hue is 0 for red. Yeah. And then we'll dim it back up. Just gonna eyeball the monitor over there. Coming up. Kind of goes a little violet because I'm now mixing red and the spill from the blue. You can actually see that blue kicker light is flaring the lens a bit on the edge of frame left. I think now too, actually my skin tones are a little underexposed. I'm just gonna, yeah, definitely I can see it. I like, probably right in there. I'm gonna cheat here. This is gonna end up in frame, but possibly. Just pull that key light a little closer to me. Yeah, it's a little over. Try that. And then obviously you can really change up how dramatic things are by the vertical height of your key. So you'll see here, if I go high in the hat, a little more mysterious now, hidden eyes, and some of that cowboy stuff we shoot for TV. We'll do that intentionally. We'll get like the cowboy hat, and you'll just have like, obviously a cowboy hat's got a flat brim, but you know, like try to make it so the line, you're just getting a hint of eyeball. Mysterious. All right, that's all I got this evening. Hope that helps, and if you're watching this and have some other ideas for quick and dirty YouTube studio from home with dramatic stage lighting and not spending a fortune? Please comment below.